Hi everyone, welcome to biology class. Today I will discuss the topic control of gene expression in bacteria, or in other words, the bacterial operon. So the bacteria is a single-celled prokaryotic organism which is microscopic and found almost everywhere on earth. So this is the structure of bacteria. As I said earlier, it's a prokaryotic organism, thus it does not have a well-developed nuclei. So as we can see, the DNA is seen clustered together in the center. Now this DNA makes up the genes which codes for specific proteins. These proteins will act as enzymes, and these enzymes helps in the metabolic activities of bacteria. In bacteria, the genes which encodes for the enzymes for the metabolic pathway seen clustered together on a chromosome as a functional complex. This is called a bacterial operon. A typical bacterial operon consists of four major parts: structural genes, promoter region, operator region, and regulatory genes. First one is structural genes. These are the genes which codes for the enzymes. Structural genes usually seen adjacent to each other. Suppose if this is the bacterial DNA and X, Y, Z are the structural genes, these are seen in the operon region adjacent to each other, so that when RNA polymerase move from one structural gene to the next, it transcribes all genes into single mRNA. Now, this mRNA get transcribed into enzymes. Since all genes are seen adjacent to each other, turning on one gene turns on all other genes in the operon. Second part is a promoter region. It is a site where RNA polymerase binds to the DNA in the beginning of the transcription. The third part is the operator region. It is seen adjacent or overlaps with the promoter. It serves as a binding site for the protein called repressor protein. The fourth and last part is a regulatory gene. These genes encodes for the repressor protein. The repressor protein has a predominant role in the transcription of genome. Thus, it's a best example for gene regulatory protein. Suppose if this is a bacterial operon, the promoter region seen before the structural genes. Now the operator region seen adjacent to this promoter region. Regulatory gene seen in the bacterial DNA is also part of the bacterial operon. So as I said before, these genes encodes for repressor protein. A repressor protein is a gene regulatory protein. So by a gene regulatory protein means a protein that recognizes specific sequence of DNA and binds to that sequence with high affinity. So in this case, the repressor protein binds to the operator region and it blocks the movement of RNA polymerase from the promoter region to the structure genes. Thus, it turns off the operon. Because the presence and absence of this repressor protein affects the gene expression, it is called gene regulatory protein. So, these are the four major parts of bacterial operon. There are mainly two types of bacterial operon. First one is an inducible operon and second one is a repressible operon. In inducible operon, the presence of key metabolic substance induces transcription of structural genes. Example is lac operon. In second one, repressible operon, the repressor protein by itself is unable to bind to the operator. Thus, the structural genes get actively transcribed to form enzymes. The trip operon is a good example for this. First type of operon is lac operon. So, lac operon is a cluster of genes that regulate the production of enzymes which is needed to degrade lactose in bacterial cells. So, in lac operon, lactose is a key metabolic substance which acts as an inducer. It's actually allolactose, but we consider lactose as an inducer because allolactose is derived from lactose. Lac operon consists of three structural genes. The first one is a Z gene and it encodes for beta galactosidase. The second type is a Y gene and it encodes for galactoside permease. A galactoside permease is a protein that promotes the entry of lactose into the cell. And the lastly is A gene and it encodes for thiogalactoside transacetylase. So it's an enzyme whose physiological role is not discovered till yet. As I said before, the Lac operon is an inducible operon. That is, it consists a component named inducer which helps in the transcription process. So in this case, lactose is an inducer. So we know when repressor protein is present in the medium, it turns off the operon. So when lactose is present in the medium, firstly it enters the cell. Then it binds to the Lac repressor. When the lactose binds to the repressor protein, this changes its conformation. Then it becomes unable to attach to the operator. When the repressor protein is not attached to the operator, the structural genes get transcribed and then enzymes are synthesized. So these enzymes catabolizes the lactose. So only in the absence of lactose, repressor protein is able to bind to the DNA. So when lactose concentration decreases, it gets dissociated from the binding site of the repressor molecule. So the repressor binds to the operator, which then blocks RNA polymerase from reaching the structural genes. Thus, it turns off the transcription of the operon. This is the mechanism of Lac operon. In the beginning of this video, I said we will discuss the topic bacterial operon, or in other words, the gene expression. So till now, we have discussed the negative control in the gene expression. Now, we will discuss the positive control. So what I meant by a negative control is that when repressor interacts with the DNA to inhibit gene expression, as in Lac operon or tripoperon, it is called a negative control. Now, we will discuss the positive control by cyclic AMP. So, it was discovered in relation to the phenomenon called glucose effect. In this process, the cyclic AMP helps in the transcription. So, initially, cyclic AMP is thought to be seen only in eukaryotes, but later it was discovered in E. coli. The cyclic AMP concentration is controlled by glucose concentration. That is, when glucose concentration is higher, the cyclic AMP concentration gets lower. So, when glucose is present in the medium, it suppresses other catabolic substance like beta galactosidase, which is needed to degrade the substances. Cyclic AMP, being a small molecule, it cannot stimulate the expression of genes by its own. So, for that, it binds with another protein called cyclic AMP receptor protein, or CRP. The CRP cannot bind with DNA of its own. So, the cyclic AMP and CRP forms a complex. Now, this binds to the specific site in Lac control region. The bound CRP changes the conformation of the DNA, which makes it possible for the RNA polymerase to transcribe the Lac operon. Thus, the presence of bound CAMP-CRP is necessary for the transcription of operon, even when the lactose is present and repressor is inactivated. When glucose concentration is high, the cyclic AMP concentration remains low. They are required to promote the transcription. The first type of operon is tripoperon. Since it is a repressible operon, the repressor is unable to bind to the operator DNA by itself. So, the repressor protein first binds to a co-repressor and then it becomes active as a DNA binding protein. In tripoperon, the tryptophan functions as a co-repressor. In the absence of tryptophan, the repressor protein is inactive. Thus, this turns on the tripoperon. So, the operator site is open for RNA polymerase to bind. It transcribes the structural genes to form enzymes that helps in the synthesis of tryptophan. After the tryptophan is formed, now the operon is needed to be turned off and stop the synthesis. For that, In high concentration of tryptophan, the tryptophan repressor complex is formed. Thus, it blocks the transcription and turns off the operon. This is a mechanism of trip-operon. So these are the mechanism behind bacterial operon. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay healthy, stay positive. Bye.